Hello,
trying.
everyone.
She's trying.
Welcome to This Day. I needed to be wrapped as a present because we are on Christmas Eve.
Here we are.
Welcome
Under the
to
tree.
This Day, everyone. It is Wednesday, December 24th. I'm your host, Bree Cox Kennedy.
I'm Michael Taylor. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. We got a fun show today. This won't be annoying on the microphone at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Okay. On today's show, we're going to be hearing from the folks from Legacy Arrangements. It's Ann Stemmer and Denise Linden will be here talking about arrangements you can make now to make sure your loved ones don't have to deal with all of that stuff after you're gone. And then Harvard Eye Associates' very own Dr. John Hoganesian is going to be here as well.
Sounds like a great show. Look at the blue skies. That is not what we're encountering right now,
No.
but we'll get into that just as soon as we let you know about our holiday hours here at the Village. The observed VMS holidays are December 24th, today, December 25th, and then, of course, January 1st. There's a lot of detailed information here, folks, so if you want to see this up close and personal, go over to lagunawoodsvillage.com and then click on news to get updates on transportation, trash and bulky item pickup, as well as contractor hours.
Check out our weather while we're at it. We got rain in the forecast, sleigh bells and rain all together. We got rain today. We got rain on Christmas Day, and we got a little bit of rain tapering off once we get to Friday. But it's going to be a lot of rain. About 2 inches of rain is forecast for this one. So it's a lot of rain. So stay indoors. Hopefully you don't have to travel around and see a bunch of people on Christmas. Hopefully you'll be staying home and let Santa come to you.
Exactly.
By Saturday, though, we're going to get it clear out. And so we actually have mostly sunny, almost a few clouds, mostly sunny on Saturday and Sunday. Not quite warm yet, but at least we'll have some sunny skies.
Yeah, well, we need the rain, so hopefully some of the reservoirs will
Absolutely.
raise up a little bit. Sunrise this morning was at 6:52 a.m. Sunset will be at 4:48 p.m. This is Point Vecchio in Florence, Italy. That famous bridge where they sell silver on both sides of it.
I've seen that.
Photo sent in to us by Dennis Harper. Thank you, Dennis. It's been a while since I've been there. It's time to go back.
Poor thing.
I know. I'd love to see your photos, so would Michael and the rest of our viewers. So please email those to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com.
There we go. All right, no meetings. It's the holidays, so no meetings to tell you about. So when we come back, we'll be talking with folks from Legacy Arrangements. Jingle bell.
We're Denise and Ann with Legacy Arrangements.
We help families plan ahead for future funeral and cremation pre-arrangements. We represent over 70 mortuaries in the Southern California area.
We know these conversations aren't always easy, but we understand how truly important they really are. We are dedicated to making an uncomfortable conversation as comfortable for you as possible.
By planning today, you're going to lock in today's costs and you're going to let your family know your future wishes.
It's truly a gift you give your loved ones.
Legacy Memorial Insurance Service. I want to welcome Denise Linden and Ann Stemmer. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So you guys provide services basically for folks who want to pre-arrange funeral services. What makes your company different than me just going into a funeral home and doing those arrangements there, which is kind of like, if anybody does that, that's kind of the traditional way of doing it, I guess.
That's a great question. When you pre-plan directly with one funeral home, you're subjected to their pricing. With Legacy Memorial, our parent company, we have access to over 70 mortuaries in the Southern California area. So we can find something that better fits your family.
Okay. And when we say insurance, is it something that I'm paying for in a kind of a payment plan as I set this up and those kinds of things?
Yeah, that's a big question, really, that could warrant a whole conversation.
Okay.
Because most people don't know that it's written on an insurance policy.
Okay.
It's not a life insurance policy. It's not burial insurance. It's actual insurance provided to the mortuary that you select.
Okay.
So there is a payment plan within that, and you have insurance costs that's associated with it that gives you full protection.
Okay. So when I come into your offices or I do the sit down with you guys, what am I doing? Am I literally like saying, this is the kind of casket I want, this is the kind of service I want, this is the kind of thing I want? Help people kind of wrap their minds around what the process is.
Well, yeah, we can get as detailed as you want. We can go through, pick out whether it's a casket or an urn. We're working with a family right now that she wants to go as detailed as what she would like to be served at her celebration of life.
Okay.
So we have personal planning guides that we share with families, and they can write their wishes, fill this out, and get extremely detailed. Or you can just have, for instance, a casket allowance. We always recommend securing that because then you're locking in the pricing from today for that casket or urn.
Now, how does this benefit like the families who are involved in this as well? Like, because a lot of times, somebody doesn't have these kind of arrangements. It's like, well, what would Uncle Bob have wanted? What do we do?
Well, I think it benefits them in so many different ways. I mean, obviously, pre-arranging is the smartest thing for a family to do because, like Denise said, you're locking in the cost, okay? So on the day that you pass, you don't have your family coming in and having to make all these decisions. What Legacy Memorial does, Legacy Arrangements, is we can really work within what your needs are, your location, your preferences, your budget, as opposed to, because you asked, why not just walk into a traditional funeral home? A lot of times you don't know that the funeral home down the street could be $2,000 less. So every funeral home has their own pricing. So Denise and I do all the legwork. Once we figure out what you want, if it is a casket, whatever those arrangements look like, we're going to find what's best for your budget, your location, and your preferences.
Okay. And Denise, is this something that, when people do this ahead of time and people are involved in their own preparation for that kind of thing, does it kind of take a lot of the mourning process out of it? Because like when someone dies and now you're making arrangements, now you're in this grief and you're also trying to make all these decisions.
Right. So obviously there's still going to be mourning, but you're taking this off their plate. It is one less thing. When someone passes and there's not pre-arrangements, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered for the death certificate. That's immediate. If you want to look at a cemetery plot or even a niche for cremation, you're looking at about 3 to 5 hours. So it's such a gift for families when they come in. Then they can grieve and they don't have to deal with this aspect of it. There's still, of course, some decisions and paperwork to be filled out, but other than that, they can just mourn their loved one and start that process of mourning and being with other loved ones.
And Ann, when people come in for the services, do they bring family members? Is it kind of maybe a group decision, or is it sometimes individual, a little bit of mix of everything?
It varies. There's some families that are comfortable with bringing everybody in, right? Because a lot of families are uncomfortable talking about it. A lot of times when we tell them, they're going to go home and talk to their kids about it. And I caution them to be careful because now your kids are going to think you're sick, right?
Right. Well, what's wrong? Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? You don't need to do that. We'll deal with it. So I always invite everybody in, but again, it's up to the person. I mean, it's better if you can bring the whole family in, but if not, it's okay. Just do your arrangements and let them know it's done.
Absolutely. And for your services, is there a kind of a limit or an age range of people? Like, are some people who maybe have just been diagnosed, or some people who just want to take care of this 20, 30 years before or anything?
I had a family one time, all 5, their children, 28, 26, they all came in and did everything.
Really?
I swear they did. And that was more on the cemetery side. But the sooner you do it, you're locking in that cost. Because what does it go up? We said
cemetery doubles every 8 to 10 years. Mortuary goes up every single year. So that's the biggest thing, is securing the price. And the other biggest thing is not leaving it to your family, because that's the unknown.
Right.
Did we do the right thing?
Right.
Would they have wanted this? And having to deal with it on a very difficult time.
Yeah, and also the financial burden that you sometimes would actually lay on your family members as well, right? Because if you take care of that, hey guys, you're just in charge of coming and mourning and being part of my celebration, but not having to go into your wallet and figure this out for yourselves.
It's a big financial cost.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most people don't research this, right? So they wait until something happens and they're shocked at the cost because they have no idea. So we want to educate as well and help people understand the process and what the cost factors are and how you can secure that and not be burdened with it at that time.
Right. Dan, what's the thing you enjoy most about being able to do this for families and do this for your clients in terms of taking things off their plate?
I think it's the biggest gift is that we can do that when someone is healthy, because then it's a much more relaxed conversation. Family members, if they come in, like Ann said, we do invite the children. Let's get all the questions answered so they're not going back and then maybe not sharing properly or maybe some confusion about what we've discussed. So I think the most important thing is that we all know this is going to happen. We all know at some point we're going to die. It's going to happen. So taking that pressure off the children, who oftentimes have now children of their own, it's a very stressful time in their lives to, be parents having to deal with the planning of this, having their own children, the financial burden, the question, did I do the right thing? So that's the biggest, for me, is really just helping families take care of it so that on that day, it's already done, and now the family can just mourn.
Yeah, and for you guys, when someone comes in the office or you're constantly, hey, mom, dad, grandpa, or whoever has passed, how do you guys kick in then and start taking care of things? What's that process
You mean
like?
when someone actually passes,
When the actual passes,
and
yeah.
they don't have prearrangements?
No, when they have the prearrangements.
Oh,
yeah.
it's night and day.
It is.
Right.
Because we've worked in the industry where we dealt with the at-need side when somebody dies. The difference of a family coming in that had made prearrangements and not is vast. Because like Denise had said, you're already grieving, you're in shock.
Right.
It is not a time to be making decisions. And most of the times families have not talked about it. So now the guessing game starts of what did they want? Not everybody may agree if you have a lot of kids in there. So when someone has prearrangements, we're just gonna take them out and we're gonna follow verbatim what
Right.
this person wanted done. Your
Right.
dad picked out this casket. Your dad wanted these flowers. Your dad wanted a viewing.
Right. And that way there's also that there's no conflict in the family. Well, I
None.
don't think
Right.
they would have wanted this. What if they wanted that, right?
Right.
So it saves a lot of the agonizing argument or the frivolous maybe things that go on within a family. And then, nope, this is all done, guys. Now you're in charge of just coming in and being part of the service.
And being there to mourn your loved one and be at the service and be there for everyone else.
All right, let's talk a little bit about costs, because that's always a factor for people. What is this cost, and how is it better than like I said, walking into the funeral parlor with no arrangements kind of thing?
Well, you don't get any kind of, if you wait until you pass, whatever that price is at that time is
Right.
what you're paying, okay? So a traditional funeral is going to vary. Again, we said we represent over 70 mortuaries, so we try to get an idea of your budget. But a traditional means full casket burial in the ground, okay? That can range from $7,000 to $15,000.
Okay.
It's a huge
Wow,
difference.
that's a big.
Casket
Right.
drives the price.
Yes.
And just all of how many flowers, you're planning a service. So when you do it in advance, we can help look at your budget and go, okay, does this cost work? Does this? Cremations, what?
It depends if they're doing, because even with cremation, you can do a casket viewing and then have the cremation after. So it varies, and again, in different locations, it can vary quite a lot. So maybe a few
From
thousand.
3,000 to 10,000. We met with someone just yesterday, and it could end up being 10,000, and it's a cremation, but we're helping with everything.
Right. Yeah, it's a cremation take home, but she wants 2 services with viewings, so it's going to be a lot larger than anticipated.
You really can personalize it.
Yeah, that's terrific. And what's the best part of this for you? I asked Denise the same question. What's the best part of this for you?
Helping families. I've had death in my family. My brother died, my kid's dad died, and people that I love, and I've seen it. And to really help a family with that feels wonderful, because I know when I'm done helping them with their prearrangements, I know what that's going to do for their family later. They may not even understand it.
Right.
But I know that I really helped them on probably the worst day of their kids' lives or their spouse's life.
Right. You're making a big impact now that's going to pay off a lot later. In
So
their
much.
Right.
We're both very passionate about it.
Thank you very much for Denise and Ann for being here today. I appreciate that. From Legacy Memorial Insurance Services, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
What would it feel like to hear better? Many people are trapped in the isolation of poor hearing and don't realize it. Even people that are wearing other hearing aids. No buttons to push or technology to fear. Artificial intelligence and these products do all the work. Don't settle for less. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Harvard Eye Associates Dr. John Hovhannissian joins us as he always does once a month, and I want to welcome you back to the show.
Thank you, Michael. Nice to see you. It's another month.
Another month, here we are, and we're talking about some concerns that we've talked about before, cataracts, but also a new study that says there might be a link to early cataracts and dementia, or the progression of dementia.
Yeah, it's really interesting because cognitive impairment or dementia, which is becoming a really increasingly important disease. In fact, the incidence of people or the prevalence of people with dementia, it doubles about every 15 years. And we will have by 2030 around the world something like 150 million people who have dementia. And one of the factors that's been studied is two things that lead to progression or development of dementia: hearing loss and vision loss. So it's important we think about
for
those.
folks maybe not familiar. I mean, I can't imagine you're not familiar, but cataracts, I mean, it's kind of slow fogging of the lens, right?
That's right. Fogging of the lens inside the eye. It's a natural aging process. Dementia is not a natural aging process. It does not have to happen to anybody, and so we should always be on the lookout for ways to prevent it from developing. Having good sensory input, both for our hearing and our eyes, helps to prevent it basically from happening. Significant prevention, something like a 30% reduction in development of Alzheimer's dementia in particular, and really all causes of dementia among people who have quality vision.
Okay, because the first one I heard, I feel like it's comparing Tuesday to ice cream, and I'm like, how are these things connected? But it's one of those things where it's like, if you're not getting the signals, then there's a part of your brain that's kind of getting shut down, and that can kind of increase in dementia?
Right. It's not the first thing you'd think of as a cause of dementia, right? But it is a very important one, and it turns out it's a very real one that's been now well studied in multiple ways with large numbers of patients to establish the link and the importance. And so, the problem is that people with dementia or early dementia often don't complain about poor vision. And their family members may not give it much importance to get them to the eye doctor. They blame their lack of relation to the visual world on their dementia. And there's just sort of this ignoring of what is really an important factor that can influence the progression of the dementia as well and improve quality of life.
So it was a pretty large study, about 300,000 people or so, and they really saw a real distinction between the folks who had the surgeries and the folks who did not.
That's right. Yeah, well-controlled study and a thought out study that demonstrated this, and it's not alone. There are other studies that have shown similar results. So another factor that we think about is so if you do surgery for cataract, in the case of cataract, which is about half of the visual impairment that occurs, some of it is also caused by macular degeneration, which also can be treated. And really, any visual impairment can cause this. So really, the bottom line is you need to see your eye doctor.
Right.
And if you have a treatable form of reduced vision, treat it by all means.
Now, that was going to lead to my next question. How soon, if you start seeing even the early signs of cataracts, is it time that let's just get this done now, or has that always been the recommendation, or does this kind of increase that?
Cataract surgery has always been a procedure that we approach from a standpoint of, well, do you need it? Is it starting to affect your vision? Is it starting to affect your quality of life? And for some people that means, well, gosh, I need to drive after dark in order to get to see my grandkids. Well, if that's impaired, then it's time to do surgery. For other people, those with concern for dementia, it might be at a different stage where they're concerned about it. So, it's a very personal thing, and we talk with every patient about that to make a decision about when's the right time for cataract surgery.
Does the study indicate that once you've had the cataract surgery, there's a slowing of the dementia that's already progressed, or is there any kind of effect there? There's
less clear evidence that removing cataracts stops the progression of dementia that's already started, but it only stands to reason that it would. Right? Having better visual input is going to help people relate to the world better. So it depends upon on the cause of the dementia and how severe it is when it begins, when cataract surgery is done, in the case of cataract surgery.
When you see this in patients, when you see someone coming with a cataracts, are you asking these questions, or do you ask loved ones or their caretakers, something like that? Hey, is there dementia? Or do you try to find there's a connection there?
We do. As part of a medical history that we take, we ask about memory loss and other signs and symptoms of dementia. And that might prompt us to suggest surgery a little bit earlier. Very often we have family members bringing someone in who's got a cataract, and they sort of have their hands full taking care of someone, particularly if they've got moderate dementia. And so the question is, geez, do I need to take care of this? And you know what? You should. Okay. You should. And they very often tell us later that wow, I didn't expect mom to be, relating better to the world and to be functioning better as a result of surgery, but it often happens.
What are some of the early signs that you are developing a cataracts? There are a few of them, or are there just one or two?
It depends on the things you do. So
Right.
the way I tell patients is that the things that are difficult to see become a little more difficult. So driving at night is a classic example. Probably the most visually challenging task that any of us does, because the world is shades of gray, things are moving fast, there's bright sources of light coming toward us on the freeway, and so everything is set up to make it difficult to see. Reading fine print is another example, particularly in dim light. If you're having more difficulty reading, you need more light to do it. That's usually a sign of cataract. And really anything that visually, I just don't quite see it or feel as confident as I did in the past. Time to get in and have your eyes examined.
Okay, and that clouding, there's a clarity of vision that goes along with that, right? Do we see the clouding start at the edges, or does it kind of start all over in cataracts?
It varies because there's different types of cataract. With some people's vision on the eye chart is actually preserved very well, but you put them in a car with headlights coming toward them at night, forget about it. They really lose vision. And other people, some people are more sensitive to the visual impairment they get, other people just aren't so bothered by it. So it's very individual. And that's why the discussion is individual, the decision is individual. We never push people into surgery, but we always think about what are the benefits and where is it going to fit in. There's always risk to any procedure as well. I mean, anytime we take the step of doing surgery, we have to accept that there's some risks, that even if the patient does everything right, even if the doctor does everything right, things may not go the way we want. Fortunately, those are very rare. Cataract surgery is one of the most successful and safe procedures done because it's one of the most common procedures done.
And let's take me through the steps of a cataract surgery. Let's say I've gotten to that point and I need it, and I even am a dementia risk, as we've been talking about here. How does that process begin? And you do both eyes at once, one at a time. How does the whole thing work?
Great question. So when we do surgery, there's a little bit of testing in the office we do before going to surgery itself. Surgery is done in an outpatient facility. You're there about an hour, hour and a half for a procedure. You're sedated. We have people lie down. We give them an IV, so they're very relaxed, so nobody's nervous going through it. The eye is numb, and so you may see some light, but you're not going to see instruments moving around or things that are scary. It's over within about 10 minutes, and you're on your way home. Maybe a little scratchiness in the eye, but no pain, most people say, and they're back to most normal activities the next day. We ask you to wait a week on swinging a golf club or doing any sort of vigorous exercise, but you can walk, you can drive the next day, you can use a computer, you can shower, so there's not a lot of downtime.
And am I patched? Am I covered? Or
for just a couple hours, we have a cover on the eye,
Okay.
And then for a couple of nights, we ask our patients to wear a cover just so they don't accidentally rub their eye while they're sleeping.
Yeah,
'cause that can happen.
you do that kind of thing. Oh
don't
shoot! I
want-
wasn't supposed to touch my nose. Whatever.
Yeah,
It might.
right,
And then
exactly.
how long between the one eye and then the other eye, if everything, let's say, goes well?
Often 1 week. The next week, the other eye is done, and people get their lives back. So a lot of people expect it's going to be a lot of downtime and a big interruption in their busy lives, and in fact, it's actually. We don't want to trivialize any surgical procedure, but most people say it's just a real easy event.
Now, besides the clearing of the fogginess and the impaired vision, can you also increase their ability to read? Can you actually improve some of the vision issues they may have been having along with the cataracts?
Oh, there's so much exciting technology today. With lens implants, with cataract surgery, we're putting in a lens that sets your vision for life. It never is going to change after that. And so there's the opportunity to use these advanced technology lenses that are designed to do all kinds of wonderful things. And yes, many patients don't need any glasses at all after surgery. There are costs in that are not covered by insurance. And so, we're never trying to push extra costs on patients, but we want them to understand what their choices are because
There's different levels of lenses in terms of that kind of thing?
That's right, and they're wonderful technologies for folks who want them and can afford them, and it's really exciting what it does for people, but it's a choice that they have, and we want them to understand their choice and then make it according to what's right for them.
Yeah, but Medicare and Medi-Cal covers most of the standard stuff?
Thankfully, they cover the big cost surgery, which is the operating room and the anesthesia fees and fees for technicians and supplies and all the big cost stuff. That's covered.
Okay, so if I ever get cataracts, I can actually kind of get rid of these maybe someday.
You may well do that.
Now we're talking.
It's pretty exciting, yeah, right.
Dr. John
They
Hoven.
do look good on you, though. So.
Oh, thank you. Well, what can I say back to that? So complimentary. What can I say? The wonderful Dr. John Hovnesian is here. Thank you from Harvard Eye Associates. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Michael, as always.
Good to see you as well. You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Your eyes let you see the world, every smile, every sunset, every moment.
At Harvard Eye Associates, our team of specialists is here to protect your vision.
From cataracts and glaucoma to retina and cornea care, we offer the latest treatments with a compassionate touch.
For over 50 years, you've trusted us with your eyes. We're honored to care for them for years to come.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
All right, folks, we're not going to be here tomorrow or Friday, so we got some great movies lined up. Instead of watching This Day, you can watch Elf. It's going to be the first one we do at 8:30 in the morning on Christmas Day. That is a fantastically fun movie. And then Boys Town, a classic, is going to be at noon. And then another classic, A Christmas Carol. Oh, those ghosts that visit the poor guy. And then on Friday, we're going to be watching Peter Rabbit, 8:30 in the morning. Then at noon, Dream Horse, and then Huell Hauser at 5 p.m. California's Gold. He's going to be visiting us right here in Laguna Beach. Love it.
Love it. Sounds fantastic. Let's take another look at our wet forecast in the future. We've got lots of rain, 100%, down to 95, down to 90 Wednesday through Friday. We're not going to escape it. It's just here. So let's embrace it while we have a beautiful holiday. Stay indoors. The fireplace and families.
There you go.
Sounds like
Speaking
great.
of fireplaces, families, and fun decorations, we're going to leave you guys today with beautiful pictures from Donald and Maria Pusateri's home. A beautiful holiday decor for you to enjoy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year as well.
Jingle bells.